A very good evening and welcome to Big Talk on Global TV. My name is Ubong Osoro. This is a program where we highlight our political issues and issues concerning Nigeria. Of course, this country belongs to all of us and we must make sure that this country works for us. And during the day, we had some trending political issues and some Nigerians commented on some of these issues. We'd like to bring this to you after we come back from this break. Let's go for a break, and when we come back, we'll highlight all of the issues that we had and what Nigerians, you yourself, thought about some of these issues. So, talking about some of the issues that were trending today on social media, political issues that I highlight on this particular corner to bring to you. We saw the former governor of Kano State, Kwankwaso, receiving those who are defecting back to the NNPP in Kano. There's been a lot of talks about him going to the APC, maybe running as a vice presidential candidate to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But today we saw him receiving, defectors back to the NNPP in Kano. And let's see what some Nigerians think about this. Namashe says Kwankwaso seems to be positioning himself strategically to attract the highest political offer. Okay, that's a thought there. Lord Shimba says, I have a feeling these things are all staged. I don't know what is staged, but that's your thoughts. Oze Okebe says transactional politics. All right. Then Divo Prince says RMK and his local Kano politics. When will he start to receive defectors in other states or NNPP is just operating in Kano? That's actually a question. Still talking about some of the trending, political issues that were highlighted during the course of the day. We had the presidency reply. Kwankwaso, actually, he came out yesterday to make a statement that the President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration is not focusing, or the projects are not focused in the north. Most of the projects of this presidency is not focused in the north. Not relegated under Tinubu. Presidency counters Kwankwaso. So the presidency came out to the position to say the north have not been relegated under Tinubu. And I think they actually went out to do an analysis, about some of the projects. You could check that story out. They came out with analysis, 56, being done in the north and all of that. Let's see what Nigerians think about, what Kwankwaso said. Somebody said, if we should ask Kwankwaso if he's thinking of political post or Tinubu is withholding his statutory allocation when due. Honestly, I think he's behaving like Oliver Twist and asking for more than others. But Nigeria succeed without some people's evil intention and selfishness. That's what one Nigerian think. Let's see what other people think. Femi Akintola says Kwankwaso visits Tinubu. Then he says Tinubu is neglecting the north. He'd be like say something that, okay, he's trying to say some things there. Because this same Kwankwaso, we saw him visit President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and the same Kwankwaso is saying Tinubu is neglecting the north. Let's see if we have another reaction from any other Nigerian. Somebody says South. Okay, I like to pass this. Can we get any other one? Goze Nwachuku says this statement should be issued by the Minister of Information or one of the key appointees from Northern Nigeria. Okay, I was trying to talk about the person who made the statement on behalf of the presidency, Bayo Onanuga. Okay, and the last story that we're tracking for you now says opposition politicians joining APC because it is well organized. The Director General of the Progressive Institute, Lanre Adebayo. Okay, let's see what some Nigerians think about that story. Political back and forth, everybody trying to defend itself. What really matters is whether people on the ground in the north actually feel any impact of this policy. Because he's saying people are joining APC because of the policy of Mr. President. Enough of this. Maybe in the course of the program, we may actually get back to look at some of what some Nigerians are saying. But the story today, we want to talk about the PDP. The PDP at the point was the biggest political party in Africa, in Nigeria. And I listened to PDP members at the point used to say that they will rule Nigeria for 100 years and all of that. But yesterday, I was at the PDP's PDP's NEC meeting, and we saw them roll out some, roll out a communique, and some items were highlighted. And we're in the studio. We have Mazi Nnamdi Dixon Irabo. I actually apologize before the show. Irabo, if I didn't get the name correct. He's a member of the PDP from Hayato Ward in Hayato Ward in Abo Mbise, Anambra, Imo State. Sorry, not Anambra, Imo State. Yeah. And it was at you were actually at the NEC meeting yesterday. So
thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you so much. How's the PDP doing?
You were there yesterday, and I'm sure you probably felt some magic, because every moment, every now and then in the media, people are saying PDP is dead and all of that. So I'd rather ask you, did you see a dead party?
No, it's about...
so PDP is doing
I saw a party, you asked me, but I didn't see a lot of the people that used to be associated with your party. They weren't there.
Like who now?
Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar was not there.
It's public knowledge that he has left the party.
Wike FCT minister was not there.
FCT minister may not be there probably because of his personal engagements, but he's still... The last time I checked, still a member of
how is the PDP doing?
The PDP is doing great, and indeed repositioning itself to winning ways. Day before yesterday, of course, I don't know if you were there at NAF Conference Center when the Founding Fathers meeting held, as convened by Professor Jerry Ghana and all of that. And of course, that kind of turnout, no one expected that, there was still that kind of enthusiasm for the party. So the turnout was massive, and the discussions were germane, and it just brought back some kind of nostalgic feeling in the days when PDP was in power. The family got together to deliberate, because PDP is not a party owned by one person or a group of few people. And this is the only party that has existed since 1998. Since 1999 that we came back to democratic governance and all of that, has maintained its name, maintained its logo, maintained its tradition, which we witnessed. Yes, we had crisis, and everyone thought was going to consume the party, that the party was going to go extinct, and so some started jumping ship and all of that. But that day before yesterday at the founders meeting, and of course at the NEC meeting that happened yesterday, we will all as all Nigerians all attest that indeed PDP may just not be dead as being professed by a lot of people.
All right. So the question now is that yesterday I saw the governor of Osun State, Ademola Adeleke, in attendance, and just 3 days ago we have reports that the Osun State chapter of the PDP has decided that it is going to support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And some people have talked about the place that the PDP seem not to be able to discipline members who have engaged in anti-party activities, like you like to call it. I had somebody who said maybe the discipline is done at the world level, but when it gets to the national level, those who call the shots in the party, it seems the party is afraid of disciplining them. So let's talk about the place where members of your party, the PDP, support other political parties and support candidates from other political parties.
No, it's not on record that they support other candidates from other political parties. The thing is that we have only one president as at now. And all Nigerians, irrespective of your political affiliation, must identify and appreciate the current president as our president. We don't have another one. It's unfortunate that 2 years into his first tenure, or into his reign, or into his administration, the Tinubu government started, if you go about all over Abuja, you will see posters and other parts of the nation. So they started the panic campaign early enough, and that's what it seems like. that, of course, the party haven't not taken a position yet. We have not had our convention yet, and we also do not have a candidate yet. So nobody can be punished for saying Tinubu is my president and I support my president. Every one of us, irrespective of our political affiliation, would want that president of the nation, whether APC president, APC candidate or PDP candidate or Labour Party candidate, at every point in time, any president that we have should be supported by all of us, because should the administration of that president succeed, we all succeed. But of course, we know that this one has failed and the nation is faced with a lot. And rather than face governance, the Tinubu administration is veering off and starting an illegal campaign,
But members of your party, governor in your party.
I'm going somewhere, yes.
Yeah.
So the party hasn't taken a position.
But your governor in your party is supporting him.
Not necessarily, but like I said, we're all Nigerians. INEC, the last time I checked, has not lifted ban on campaign yet. We don't have, as a political party, we don't have a candidate yet. Hold on till when we have our convention in November, and then when we eventually, of course, also conduct the convention that will throw up our candidate. When you now see any member of the party saying, rather than the candidate of our party, I'm going to support another candidate, that's when you talk about anti-party. And PDP, of course, is not, nobody, no one individual is bigger than the party, to face these disciplinary actions. So at that time, disciplinary action would then apply. We went through crisis recently, and we're trying to bring back everybody on board and give hope back to the Nigerian people who are yearning, for those days when PDP was in government for 16 years. Things were better. You can attest to that. So things were better. So we are reorganizing ourselves to come back, to winning ways. And I can only but appeal to Nigerians to hold on a bit. The PDP is up again and putting. All right, so I'm
talking about the PDP being up again. You are not just up against the APC. Going forward, we have many other alternatives that seem, to be more friendly or more appealing to Nigerians.
Like
we have. I'll give you the names. We have the Labour Party.
Still appealing to Nigerians. Yes.
Of course, you saw the massive number of votes, especially when His Excellency, the former governor of Anambra, Peter Obi, ran on that platform. And we have a coalition now of the ADC, African Democratic Congress, that has big weights, like Atiku Abubakar, who over time, and he has more than 6 million votes to his name.
8 million, if you can give me yes, more than 6 million in the last election.
We have somebody like the former governor of Kaduna State,
Nasir El-Rufai,
and the rest of them.
Even the POB is in the coalition too.
All right, okay, if that's the case. So is it not threatening that the PDP might not be the prime opposition party going into 2027?
Okay, see, we've talked so much about opposition party. PDP was not set up to be an opposition party. We were set up to give governance, good governance, to the Nigerian people, and we took governance in 1999 and delivered on that for 16 years. PDP promoted, established everything that you know today that is guiding our democratic process in Nigeria today. All of the institutions and agencies set up to checkmate excesses of the executive powers and all of that was set up by the PDP. All of the progressive economic steps taken and all of that, PDP did all of that and left in 2015 an economy worth 550 billion US dollars. That was the economy PDP handed over to APC, and APC has bungled it, wrecked it, and then recently, the recent statistic figures that came out, APC is excited about it, that the economy is within the rebasing of the economy now around 220 something billion US dollars against what we handed over in 2015. So the difference is clear. When you now say, yes, Labour Party, because of Peter Obi in 2023 did very well, and that's where the party PDP made a mistake in 2023, and we all have accepted that. The party has accepted that what it did in 2022, not zoning its ticket to southern Nigeria, is what got it into the crisis that it faced recently and all of that. And of course, we saw the pool of Peter Obi and all of that. So the party is not unaware of the challenges and demands of the Nigerian people. We are also not unaware that members are, drifting to what they call ADC and all of that. As far as we are concerned, in the PDP, ADC simply means Atiku Disgruntled Coalition, because it's all about Atiku. What they wanted to do was ride on the waves of Peter Obi, who I believe by now would have realized, or should have realized, that this is not in any way going to allow a transparent and most popular candidate, and indeed allow also for fairness and justice. What we in the PDP are saying now is, okay, we have made mistakes in 2022, 2023. We want to correct it. Of course, from the NEC meeting that held yesterday, it is clear that the party is going south. That is the demand of the likes of Nyesom Wike and the G5 governors, that the party must go south. Those who you saw that left even before we got where we are today didn't know that we would have a way to still come back together as a family, solve our issues, address some of those concerns raised by people, by members and all of that. So they were impatient. But trust me, so many of them are already, haven't seen what happened yesterday. So many of them are already looking at coming back. Yes, the Atiku, for instance, has denied, ironically, that the letter that went public of his resignation, that he didn't sign it and all of that. But the party has moved. But it's open, of course. The umbrella is big enough for all Nigerians to come and be part of it, because, like its name is the People's Democratic Party, like its motto, power to the people. So we know that this is about the Nigerian people, and the party is, putting things together to get back on track, to come and salvage this nation that the ruling political party has so wrecked.
Okay, we'll talk about some of the things that you hope to push to the Nigerian people, and maybe the statistics. But let's talk about governors who are leaving your party.
Like the Delta State governor and the Akwa Ibom State governor
recently left your party.
Yes.
And there are reports, there are rumors that we could be having more governors, like maybe the Bayelsa State governor. We saw the APC saying they don't want Osun State governor. Maybe if they had accepted him, he may have defected from your party. So it seems governors are leaving. And we know that in Nigerian politics, governors wield a lot of influence
financially, but the influence,
some governors are popular.
For instance, in 2020, for instance,
some governors are popular to be able to win election. It's not easy to to win as a governor. So what are you doing about? And just the other day, before the House went on recess, my colleague that covers the National Assembly
members, senators,
and APC now has 70, and all of that. So what are you thinking about this girl of defection from the PDP to the APC? Are you not affected in all of this?
No, one thing you must please be aware of is that while some are leaving, a lot more are coming in.
Who are those coming?
They may not be governors, but Nigerians. Now, we talked about how influential and all of that the governors may be during election. Let's use Peter Obi. Peter Obi went into the election in 2023, right, under the Labour Party without one councillor. Not one elected councillor. In fact, in Delta State, where we had the vice presidential candidate of the PDP, come from, Peter Obi won in that very particular state, in Delta State. So you now wonder, even the current president, Tinubu, Peter Obi won him in Lagos State, even though, of course, we all know what played and all that. The point is that these people who you say are defecting are only defecting for their selfish interests only. For instance, the governor of Delta State, the candidate of the party, vice presidential candidate of the party from Delta State, Okowa, and all of that are left. What is their story? There was some searchlight beamed on him by the anti-graft agency, the EFCC and all of that. And of course, you know the APC slogan, that once you join, whatever sin you committed before you joined APC, you'll just be washed clean and you become sent. So APC is housing criminals. It has become obvious that this is the house or the political party.
Evidence.
No, but of course, if people,
evidence.
What is evidence when the law enforcement agencies are after a group of people and then they come join your party and they don't see them anymore? So the point I'm making is that we are not perturbed at all as a party that these so-called bigwigs in their name, are leaving the party. What we have seen is that it appears that these are actually, like was said at the founders meeting by the former governor of Niger State, Babangida Aliyu. He defined them as nomadic politicians. Nomads, when they cannot stay in one place, so they keep moving because they want to get food. So these nomadic politicians, who whether they are governors or former vice president that are moving out of the party and all of that, has no effect whatsoever, on the party. What we are doing now is, first, give justice, because one of the things that derailed the party is not being able to reward loyalty. In politics and in building political party, one of the things that grows a political party is mechanisms that is in place to reward loyalty. When Southeast, the most loyal zone to the party after losing election in 2015, got to its turn and the party did not do justice. That's what the party faced in 2023 that brought about defeat. So where we are now, we are working hard to say we're going south. Particularly where also some of us are agitating strongly, and I'm sure the party is listening to it, to microzone or possibly have a consensus arrangement for the party to go southeast. And of course, we are wooing, and I say it here, we are wooing Peter Obi back to his home. So Peter Obi comes back to PDP. We believe he should come back. Everything is, being put in place to receive him back. The value he brings is obvious. And so the party is looking forward to him coming back. And then you will now see the real, not coalition now, but alliance, where the PDP will now be in the forefront to lead an alliance with other Nigerians against this reigning political party. Because let's
stay with the PDP, because let's leave the APC out of the conversation.
We cannot, because they are reading everything we left behind for them.
PDP
bumbled everything, wrecked the economy.
We have the statistics. If the PDP was such a good party,
it was a good party. A bag of rice when PDP was in power, you could afford it. I could afford it. It was 7,000, 8,000 naira.
What was the minimum wage?
Minimum wage. Okay, let's bring that. Minimum wage was 33,000 naira at that time, and dollar was 200, less than 200 naira. Let's discuss what PDP left behind.
Let's talk about the PDP.
So that every time you vilify PDP, you seem to have forgotten where we're coming from.
Let's talk about the PDP.
We're talking about the PDP and what PDP did in 16 years.
The time will come where we'll have you in the studio and maybe have somebody, a member of the APC.
I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that.
So you can talk.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, let's stay with the PDP now.
Yes.
We had an arrangement at a time where in Delta State we saw governors have a meeting, and Governor Okowa came out and read.
He was the host of that meeting.
Yeah, and read a communique.
No, he wasn't the one that read it. The person who read it is the former governor of Ondo State, Ateke. Is it? Akeredolu, sorry, pardon me. And that was who read. He was the chairman of the Southern Governors Forum at that time.
The communique was read.
Yes, very strong.
Yes,
and that the power must come back to Southern Nigeria.
And those of us who are observers thought that a position has been taken.
Yes.
But we saw during the PDP convention.
Yes.
We saw Atiku Abubakar, who is very strategic in winning primaries. He won that primary.
Strategic is his money. He buys delegates.
It doesn't matter. That's his.
That's not strategy.
That's not a contest.
No, that's only tried by plutocratic environment where money speaks and anything works.
So he won the
yes.
And we saw somebody from the south. A southern governor.
Yes.
go.
In fact, the host of that very meeting.
Yeah. And we saw governors also from the south as DG of campaign and all of that. Campaign chairman and governors leading and governors.
Let me help you.
So the question now is,
yes.
It seems that the PDP will say a thing and not keep to it.
No.
This time around, are you ready to keep to what you are going to say?
First off, it's not true that PDP says a thing and don't keep to it. As a party, we took a position. And we have admitted publicly and everywhere that we made a mistake not upholding our constitution, which recognizes or recognized zoning. So the party ought to have zoned to southern Nigeria in 2022 against the 2023 election. So they left it open and everyone contested. But the point is that, first, the host of that very Southern Governors Forum was who betrayed the Southern Governors, that is Okowa. Okowa, after hosting that meeting where it was agreed mutually that power must come back to southern Nigeria, how could it be that he would now accept to become vice president to Atiku Abubakar, who was from the north? So the betrayal came from Okowa's end, right? But about the party now taking a position, once the party announced a candidate or its candidate, everybody, whether you're from south or north, whoever becomes the candidate of the party, everybody is expected to work for the party. For instance, I, yours truly here, after the party failed in zoning the ticket, told the party, I'm going to walk away. And the likes of us walked away. We walked against the party for not keeping to its rule. Because one thing that should or make an organization strong is the ability to apply its own rule, which was where we failed in 2022-2023. But going forward, I have said to you that the 2027 election is clear now that southern Nigeria is going to produce the next candidate of the PDP. What we are now working hard to ensure that candidate to ensure happens is that we produce the right candidate, because we want to win election. It's not just enough for us to produce a candidate, but the candidate who can win the election. And Peter Obi, if presented, I am very certain that 2 o'clock on that day of election in 2027, the result would have been very obvious, because by every means, he represents what the next phase of the Nigerian nation should look like. And that is why that his slogan, that a new Nigeria is possible. PDP has adopted it truly, that a new Nigeria is possible, because this ruin that APC has brought. No, we cannot finish without mentioning APC. They've ruined everything. How could it be? Hold on, let me say this. How could it be that, for instance, the management leaves this studio for you, and they come back, the studio AC, everything is working and all of that. They now come back, you're not using fan, and you're saying there is progress in the studio.
Let's go for a short break.
Come on, APC has ruined everything we left behind.
So we have in the studio with us PDP NEC member who was present at the just concluded PDP NEC, as we are analyzing, looking at the analysis, dynamics and implication of the recent and just concluded APC NEC meeting. We have PDP NEC meeting, I beg your pardon. Also APC had their their NEC meeting. Mazin Nnamdi Dixon. And we'll be back. Let's go for a short break. And when we're back, the conversation continues. All right, so we're still, this is Big Talk. My name is Ubong Usora. We're still in the studio talking about PDP NEC meeting and what are the implications, what are the dynamics. And we have a member of the party who was present, Mazin Nnamdi Dixon Irelbo, really trying to pronounce the name. Member of the PDP from Ayato Ward in Abombise, that's Imo State, joining us live to help us make sense. Let's stay on some of the points from the communique that was read. Points that you are moving your convention to November 15th of November, 16th of November, and it will be held in Ibadan, or your state capital. And we've seen permutations that at the venue video I covered, I saw people who were with placards calling the name of Seyi Makinde and all of that.
Yeah.
And we know the last time the convention was held in Rivers State, we actually know what happened.
What happened?
You could talk about what happened. Somebody who had, I thought that maybe because the convention is held in Rivers State, people talked about it allegedly that he thought maybe he could influence, the convention and all of that. So
it's natural.
Why are you moving it to
have advantage
into somebody to a place where there are rumors that person may be contesting and maybe having an advantage? Why not the neutral ground where maybe in Abuja or somewhere else? Why
for us in the PDP, being that the party is a national party and not a party owned by either a tribe or a religion or a group of few people or one individual. The party's vision is around building a cohesive nation, an egalitarian nation. So every part of Nigeria is of interest to the PDP. And because we are strategic about 2027, we are setting the pace already, because no national primaries of any political party has held in Ibadan before. So we are setting also that very pace for others to follow. Yes, indeed, the current governor of Oyo State has, I don't know about publicly whether I've heard him say it himself. I've not seen him say it himself, but people, of course, we know it's politics. If he wasn't interested by now, he would have come out to say, no, these things that these people are doing, I'm not part of it. But he has kept mute and all that. So therefore, we can assume or infer that he is interested in the race. There's nothing wrong with that. He has a right to aspire. But like I said, the party wants to win election. The last time I checked, he is just the governor of Oyo State, and other parts of Nigeria cannot attest to what capacity he can bring to the table. Peter Obi is today about the only politician in Nigeria who enjoys the kind of court following that he has. At least there are 6.1 million votes in the bag. Just like Buhari those days would tell you that he had 12. No, I'm talking about. I think he's not a member of my party at the moment. So we're focusing on.
Peter Obi too is not a member of your party.
So hold on.
Peter Obi is not a member of your party.
I have said, for instance, the party is going south, and the likes of us who are in the party that wants the party to win are saying, if we can, let us woo Peter Obi back. So are you not wooing former Vice President? No, there is no interest in wooing him back, because he has shown that everything about his political activities is about himself.
But your chairman said he's on transit.
Yeah, he may be on transit. Like I said already, the party, he wants to run for president 2027, and the party is not available for him, because already, like I said, the party is going south. And if the party is going, no, we're not going to leave it open, because we did it in 2017, 2018, when he came back to the party after helping to oust the party in 2015. He came back in 2017, and the party zoned its ticket strictly to the north. All of them, the 12 aspirants that we had in that contest in Port Harcourt, which you mentioned, were all from the northern Nigeria. No one southerner, bought expression of interest form or nomination form. So we are repeating same, right? That is what is going to happen by His grace, in 2027. It's the convention that will bring about our candidate is for next year, 2026. So that we pray is what will happen. So we are praying that we get that southerner who can win the election for us in 2027.
All right,
and that southerner who was a member of our party is Peter Obi, who has shown capacity, who has shown that indeed, if given the ticket by the party with the structure, because why Peter Obi didn't get it in 2023 is simply because the structure, when we talk about structure, PDP has structure in every hamlet in across the nation. Every ward you go to, you will see a very passionate, committed PDP member. So with him as our candidate and with such structure as we have, the victory will be announced, like I said, 2 o'clock on that day of election. We're not waiting for court.
Yeah, so the issue of discipline now, because a lot of Nigerians have said that the PDP seems to be a party that, does not discipline its members, where people can be members of the PDP support. Like I mentioned, Osun State, have said we are going to support.
I've also answered on that. I said we don't have a candidate yet. So why are we
at the NEC meeting? I heard one of the points that was raised was that PDP will not be part of any coalition, and members were advised to refrain from joining those meetings.
No, it wasn't said we will not be part of coalition. That's not what was said. But that we are not members of any other political party apart from PDP, right? But of course, PDP is open to not necessarily coalition, but alliances. We know we can't do it alone. And we know that the party is called the People's Democratic Party. So we are open to receive all Nigerians towards this.
But non-members of the party who are still in the party.
You cannot be in the party.
Supporting members of other parties.
Another candidate, presidential candidate of another political party. It's not possible. Once we have our house together and we hold our convention in November and all of that, these disciplines that you're talking about will start coming in. By then, it will be very clear where the party is headed.
So from now to November, members of the party. From now to November, members of the party can support anybody.
No, they are not supporting. They cannot. They are not. What the grievances that we saw out there is being that the party had crisis, especially the office of the National Secretary, which has been resolved. So many of them who would have aspired under our party at that time said, we don't even know who, when he or she signs our form, whether INEC is going to accept it or not. It is clear now who is the National Secretary of the party. So the party is together and putting everything together in place towards the convention. I believe, like I have already stated here, that there are those who left who were shocked at the last 48 hours, what played out in the party.
All right,
they are shocked that PDP is coming back to its original format.
Right. So let's talk about funding, because we know political parties, funding is very important to be able to support political parties and drive political movements. And we know that we've heard that some of the issues arose from people who claimed that they were funding the party. So who is funding the PDP at this point?
Members of the party are funding the party. The likes of Nyesom Wike, you can't take it away from him. He passionately. And you see, while I'm not his fan, and let me state it here, I'm not a Nyesom Wike fan, but I am also not averse to some of the things he stands for. I am very much aware that, for instance, his stand for it must be southern Nigeria or nothing. I am in support of that. And of course, when the party also made that mistake and a northerner took the ticket, it was clear that, to be just, to be fair to all, that you can't have the candidate come from the north, the DG of the campaign come from the north, and the chairman of the party come from the north. And the G5 governors said, no, at least there should be something for southern Nigeria. Why would they go to their people to tell them? How would they say, come and vote PDP? Why? How? What would be the reason? So because of the inability of the candidate at that time, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, to show leadership, because there was nothing wrong with him persuading the then chairman to say, it is true. Yes, it is true that this is not fair. What is wrong with asking him to step down? But he didn't show leadership. And when the party got into crisis after the election, Atiku only attended the party's meeting only once. The rest of the crisis that the party was faced with, Atiku didn't speak up for the party, didn't show up to find solution to the crisis and all of that. He was just aloof. And so that was when he started planning, of course, to exit, because it was clear that the party was not going to repeat the same mistake. We had given him the ticket in 2019 and he failed. Gave him in 2023 and he failed. It would be a stupid thing for anybody in our party to imagine that Atiku Abubakar should be given the ticket again against 2027. That would be us deliberately burying our party. So that is what informed some of these angles and all that Wike fought and all that. And indeed, like I said, you cannot deny him that very historical fact that Wike, when it comes to being there for the PDP, has always been, as governor of Rivers State and all of that, when he was the voice engaging Muhammadu Buhari's government at that time. They did everything possible to even deny him his second term and all that. So he stood firm for the party and all that. Nobody can take that away from him. There are also other governors, even though some of them, if you ask me, are lethargic, because they are not as forceful, as committed as we saw in the Nyesom Wike days, when It was PDP.
So who are the governors that
no, Bala Mohammed today, the chairman of the Governors Forum, of course. Yes, you can't take it away from it. It is the governors. That's where they have power. They are the ones, of course, funding the party at the state level. So indeed, their influence is over.
So at the national,
however, at the national level, same applies. But it is unfortunate that the PDP governors, as we have them now, have not in any way excited a lot of us when it comes to funding the activities of the party at the national level. But I hope by the time all of these things that we have faced recently, by the time we put things back on track and all of that, that some of them will change in their lethargic way, or that is lukewarm way, and get back and know that it is this party that gave them the platform in the first place. We don't have independent candidacy yet in our constitution. So the PDP must be supported by the PDP governors to ensure that we come back to our winning.
Okay, so another thing that was read out at that.
But there are other ways to also fund the party. Of course, members paying dues and all of that, and contributions. Of course, members are also supported. That's why we want the obedient movement to come back, because through the obedient movement, I'm sure that funding for PDP will not be a challenge at all.
Okay, so we know that. I also heard one of the things that was read out was that the party will institute cases against political
members who are
members like House of Reps members, senators who got tickets from the platform of the party,
taking the party for granted
and are leaving with the ticket. Can you talk about
that?
Yes, of
course, and that is very clear. The party has taken a firm position on that. At NEC yesterday, it was well spelled out that the party is going to take legal action against these erring members, because you cannot take another man's property and then along the way you say, oh no, I lended you my car, I gave you my car to go on whatever and all of that on your mission. You get to the place where you're going to, you now say, oh no, that this vehicle was actually nonsense. You want to throw the vehicle and all of that and join another vehicle and give the whole glory. Oga, that position you're occupying, you were not elected because of you. You were elected because of the party that sponsored you. So it will be important that we try it and clarify this issue in court, so that to correct this recalcitrant nature of politicians in Nigeria, where they don't respect the rules, it is the politicians that are responsible for this chaos that we're seeing in the political arena. Indeed, I support my party to go to court and get back any mandate that was stolen from us.
All right, so
particularly these ones that are now said to be jumping ship, when it is clear in the constitution that for you to leave your party to another political party, there must be obvious faction in your party. And this party has no faction.
Again.
And it has never had a faction. But we have had crisis in the party. The PDP has never had a faction.
There were two persons at the point claiming to be national chairman of the party.
That's not faction. We had a leader. The office of the national secretary was being
contested by
being challenged. That this person sought to become governor, or sought to become governor of Imo State, and all of that he should have resigned. That's not what the constitution says. The constitution of the party is clear. Section 47.5 of the party is clear that it is optional for any executive member of the party who wants to vie for elective office anywhere to resign. It's optional.
Okay, so the last question I'll ask you now. Personally, on your page, I see that there's a picture of a Peter Obi.
Yes.
Who's not a member of your party at this point?
I'm obedient. It's public.
Who's not a member of the party? And you were at the NEC meeting.
Yes.
The governor of Osun State issued statement about supporting an APC person. Was at the NEC meeting. You just made an excuse that maybe the former minister, the current minister of the FCT was not around. That is why he was not at the NEC meeting. So when you have a party that people seem to be supporting politicians from everywhere. We've seen PDP members throwing support already for 2027 for APC. We've seen yourself saying you're obedient. So meaning if Peter Obi runs with Labour Party, you support with Peter Obi in Labour Party.
No, that's not what I've said. Let me speak for myself.
So let me just ask the question. So the question now is, what's the way forward for your party being in this dilemma at this point?
The way forward for us is to stay focused on the convention that is coming in November, to start putting things together in that direction, and then, like the chairman said, who members back who would want to come back and understand that the party is back on track, and then particularly make plans towards winning the 2027 election. And one of the best plans to make towards winning the 2027 election will be the candidate that will produce from southern Nigeria in the 2026 convention that will come and all that. So for me, I haven't said that if Obi is in Labour Party that I will stay in PDP and support him. That's not what I've said.
Yeah.
I have only said that I pray, and I'm working hard on also while praying, that Obi comes back to the PDP and get the PDP ticket. That will be the happiest thing that will happen to me as a Nigerian, because it will be clear that PDP has made plans, the right plans to win the 2027 election. That candidate that can win that election is Peter Obi. Now, the other people who presently are saying they are supporting President Tinubu while they are still in PDP and all of that, if you ask me, like I said earlier, the point is that we do not have a candidate yet. And these statements were made before the last 48 hours. In the last 48 hours, have you heard of any PDP person saying things in that direction? Everybody is excited that, oh, it looks like we're coming back as a family to winning ways, to help salvage our nation. And by the time we go through this process and conclude it, you would not hear of any, especially concluding it right, you will not hear of any member of PDP say they are supporting. What are you supporting Tinubu for? Right. What has he succeeded in doing as a candidate?
Thank you.
He has failed woefully.
Thank you. When you get to the time,
that's the truth. Those who are supporting him is because of their personal interest and not the collective interest of the Nigerian people.
Right.
APC should wait for 2027.
Thank you.
It is APC
so much.
Against the Nigerian people.
Thank you so much, Mazi Nnamdi Dixon, who is a member of the PDP and a member of the PDP NEC. He was there when these discussions were done and joining us live in the studio to help make sense of the discussion. I wish your party all of the best, like I wish all of the other parties, and I wish that
I wish all of us Nigerians all the best.
Put your party in order and be able to move forward.
Thank you so much.
All right, so let's go for a short break, and when we return, we will take a few more comments, and we actually go ahead to look at what we have for you. Don't go nowhere. My name is Uba Musara, and this is Big Talk on Global TV. Welcome back from that break. My name is Ubong Usoro, and this is Global TV. Big Talk is the program, and we've been having with us Mazi Nnamdi Dixon, who is a member of the PDP NEC, as we're looking at analysis, dynamics of the just concluded PDP National Executive Committee meeting here in Abuja. What is happening with the People's Democratic Party, and it's been having a lot of perspective. But let me show you what actually happened. I went there, covered the PDP NEC, and let's get to see what actually happened during the NEC.
The People's Democratic Party (PDP) held its National Executive Committee meeting (NEC) in Abuja, with key party leaders in attendance to discuss unity, reconciliation, and preparation for the upcoming National Convention. The NEC also approved the membership of the National Convention Committee and the Zoning Committee, aimed at ensuring a transparent and credible electoral process. The PDP National Chairman Umar Damogun expressed satisfaction with the resolution of internal disputes, describing it as a demonstration of PDP's commitment to dialogue and unity. He added that the party remains united, strong, and well positioned to offer a credible alternative as an opposition party.
Members of POT, our commanders in the state, and our ex-officials who are present. Please permit me to stand on the already established protocol. It is with great pride and a deep sense of honor to welcome you to this 101 NEC meeting.
Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State and chairman of the PDP Governors Forum urged the gathering to strengthen efforts to rebuild the party across all levels. He reaffirms PDP's position as the only truly national party capable of providing credible leadership. Reading the communique at the end of the meeting, the PDP National Publicity Secretary, Honorable Debo Olugodoya, reaffirms party's commitment to internal reforms and discipline. He announced the decision of the NEC to caution members against holding meetings with opposition parties and reminded them that the PDP remains the only credible and viable opposition platform in the country.
Sir, NEC expressed serious concern and frowns at the reported participation and involvement of the party members in the activities, meetings, and gathering of another people. Next, under the appointed the elective national convention in the next set of national officers of our party will hold on Saturday, 15th to Sunday, 16th November 2025 in the Oyo State Capital.
The party further called on aggrieved members to return to its fold, emphasizing the importance of unity and strategic planning ahead of the 2027 general election. Ubong Usoro for Global TV.
All right, so we've had a wonderful discussion looking at the PDP and what are the permutations, what are the analysis and implication of the just concluded National Executive Council meeting of the PDP, where we had all organs of the party come to Abuja from the Board of Trustees, the PDP Governors Forum, the National Working Committee, of course, come together for that particular meeting in Abuja, and communique issued that the PDP will have 8th convention November next year, 16th, 15th to 16th in Oyo State, in Oyo State, right, where Ibadan is actually a capital of the state. And according to Mazi Nnamdi Dixon, who is a PDP NEC member, the party has actually resolved its issues. But for us who are observers, we hope and we wish them well, that they're able to put themselves in order. Like, you know, we support no political party and we support all political parties, right? All we want is the good of Nigeria. We want Nigeria to actually thrive. We want Nigeria to do well as a country, because we love this country and there's no other country that we have apart from this one. Do have for yourself a wonderful evening ahead of you. My name is Ubong Usoro, saying bye for now.